Hey everyone, I'm here with Nabilah Islam, and you're a candidate running in Georgia's 7th district. We are doing this pandemic style, so Skyping in from our respective homes. How are you doing during this unprecedented occurrence?
I'm doing as well. I'm doing okay.
Well, how is your mom doing? Because that went viral that your mom was laid off. She makes $14 an hour at her job,
Mhm.
and that must be incredibly difficult as someone who I know you've put a lot on hold financially to run for Congress, and you've been highlighting just the plight of medical debt and and Medicare for all has been at the forefront of your platform. Can you talk about how that's affected your family?
My mom actually called me up last week and was like, Nabila, I just got laid off of my job. My whole building just got laid off. And she was basically like, how am I going to survive? I mean, these are uncertain times for millions of Americans right now. My mom is actually thinking about canceling her bare bones health insurance plan that she has, and then also cutting her phone bill in order to cut down her expenses. And so I have a large extended family, so they're like, listen, we have your back. We're going to help you through this. But this is it's very scary for so many people throughout my district, so many people throughout this country, because of what's happening, because of the economic downturn due to COVID-19. And it's one of the reasons I'm running for Congress, because I've watched how hard my parents have worked all my life, and people like my working class parents have, I've watched how they've been left behind by a broken system. 20% of my district doesn't have health care, about 135,000 people, and that's just going to go up, including myself. I don't have health insurance, and so we're just, making sure that my mom has everything needs right now.
So just talk about the discussion around health insurance because now we're hearing all about healthcare on cable news. All of the pundits want to talk about why are these ventilators not readily available? Why are tests not readily available? Well, it's because you spent years and years saying, how are we going to pay for Medicare for all? That's a central part of your platform. Can you talk about how this pandemic has highlighted, I think, the need for universal healthcare coverage in this country?
First of all, as I mentioned, 20% of my district doesn't have health care, access to see a doctor. 30 million Americans today don't have health insurance. I think what this pandemic has exposed is how broken our healthcare system is to everybody. I mean, working class people have always known how broken our healthcare system is. We're talking about giving free tests to people. It's so hard to even find one right now. And even if you're able to get a test, if you don't have health insurance, like how are you going to pay for treatment? Treatment is into the tens of thousands of dollars. So now we're asking working people who are now, a lot of people have been laid off, to go, if they do get sick, which predictions are showing that a lot of Americans are going to get sick from this virus. How do you seek treatment? Are you going to go into medical debt? So I think a long-term solution, we need Medicare for all. Absolutely. I think more people have been are realizing this now more than ever. Short term, we need to make health treatment for the COVID-19 free.
Well, the Republicans would say people who are not likely to die from this virus, you should just go out and resume your daily lives soon enough because we need to restart the economy. How do you respond to that? And tangentially, the Republicans' attempts to push through a bill that was basically corporate giveaways. Although we seem to be getting closer as of the time that we're filming this.
Listen, my life, your life, our lives are more important than a rich person's stock portfolio. So the idea that Donald Trump is talking about, oh, we can go back to work by Easter, is just ridiculous. We all know that this is going to prolong for many, many months. And I think that Republicans are more worried about their own pocketbooks, about their own stock portfolios, including my U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler, who, she chose to profit off of a pandemic through insider trading, and it's disgusting how they have gone about this pandemic, trying to use it as an excuse to have a corporate bailout, $500 billion slush fund for corporations with really no regulation. And so this is the time that we need to be helping people like my mom, like people across the country that have lost their jobs, that are suffering, that are hurting from this pandemic, and helping them get the cash assistance that they need.
Yeah, Trump keeps saying that Easter is when we're all going to get back to work. And Easter changes every year, the date. And so I never know what date he's talking about. And it's annoying. Just say the date. Anyway, but I did want to talk a little bit more about how the COVID-19 crisis has affected your campaign, because grassroots campaigns are so predicated on door knocking and in-person contact. That must be really difficult. How are you navigating that as, in a crowded primary field going up against a very well-financed pro-establishment candidate? Carolyn, what's her name? I'm sorry, last name. Uh,
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Sorry.
So we've built a really strong grassroots campaign where door knocking, our field program, was the biggest part of our campaign. But now being face to face with a person, is becoming lethal because we have a very contagious, deadly virus. So I, of course, when this was happening over a week ago, I suspended all in person canvassing to protect our community and my staff and volunteers. And so we have now moved over to a completely digital campaign, and we're reaching out to voters via texting, via phone banking. These are things that we were already doing before, but now we're doubling down. We've called through our volunteer list, and people are home right now and they're anxious to do something. So we're like, please just help make phone calls, text bank. We've already texted over 20,000 people in the last couple of days. And we're about to host our first virtual town hall. So I want this campaign to still be as accessible as it was before, and so that people can still continue to ask me questions. And I want people to know that, I'm still here for them, even though we can't physically meet.
This is such a different dynamic than 2016 and 2018, I think, with congressional elections. Because there was in 2018, I think, some great steps taken forward with the progressive movement, with obviously the core four squad members being the most visible members who were elected to Congress. But now we're kind of seeing this backlash where Joe Biden is the likely nominee, and there's a lot of disenchantment in the base and malaise and a feeling like, how are we ever going to break through? What's your message to people who are discouraged right now by all of this?
I think that in my district right now, what people are looking for are bold progressive leaders and people that are willing to stand up and take on bold progressive policies like Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, canceling student debt. These are the policies that I've been hearing all across my district that people have been looking for, but especially in Georgia, a lot of candidates are scared to stand up and be bold about it. And so I think right now, folks just need to hang in there and keep fighting the good fight. Progress isn't linear, but we will have more wins. And I feel that just don't give up.
All right, Nabilah Islam, thanks so much for chatting with me. Hopefully I'll get to meet you in person as opposed to over screen.
Wait.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, have a good day.